So I had a busy weekend.
Oh.
And I'm going to only really talk about one of the events on air.
Oh. Do I get to hear the other?
Yeah, I could tell you the other one, but I'm just going to focus on one event, my Saturday night, actually with our listener pick this week, which was picked by Mel, my best friend. Mel and I, well, I should say I kind of asked/peer pressured Mel, and bless her heart, she came with me to this. It was an event at a movie theater, which is the movie theater owned by Kevin Smith.
Cool!
And it was the Clerks cartoon series. They were like showing it, and like he was there, and then the actors who played Dante and Randall were there.
Cool!
And it was amazing.
How did they all look? Because like, you know, it's been a bit.
Kevin looks great because now he's like vegan and he's really tan, and he wore a white blazer, and I was like, wow!
Whoa,
like,
that's so Jersey.
I know, I was like, damn, Kev, I gotta like step up my vitamin D game. Man, put me to shame. He looked great, and the other guys looked good, and they all seemed the same.
How's the theater? Is it like a cool theater? Because that's like, what a interesting project.
Had you been to that theater ever? The Atlantic Highlands one?
That was the old, like, kind of really small on First Ave, right?
Yeah. So it's like basically all the same.
Wow. Oh, so they didn't change anything?
No, he like hung up different stuff in the lobby. Like, there's different artwork, but like the layout's the same and everything's the same. My seat did not have a cup holder.
Wow.
Like, that's how old these are. And I'm not saying that as like a complaint. I just thought it was kind of funny because I sat down and I was next to some like, you know, we all know who most of the Kevin Smith fans are. They're like middle-aged white men. So I'm sitting next to one of those. He's got a really long beard. It was like 2 feet long.
One of those? Okay.
And he looks at me and he's like, you don't have a cup holder. Not all the seats have them. I learned that the last time I came to one of these. And I was like, oh my God, thank you, guide. Jesus.
And was he like, so you can sit at my seat with my cup holder? Did he say that?
No, he wasn't.
No, he didn't. He didn't.
He didn't.
Forget that guy.
Well, I mean, he was kind of nice otherwise.
He sounds lovely. Wow.
He gave us a heads up because he was like, have you ever been to one of these before? And I was like, no. And he was like, well, we're not going to start on time, number one. And then I look at the clock and I was like, you're right. It's already 5 minutes past. And he's like, yeah, it's going to be like a lot later, bro. I was like, oh, okay. And then he was like, and before every event, they have an auction.
Ooh.
And I was like, what do they auction? He's like, he just like auctions off stuff. Like stuff of his. And I was like, what? And that's exactly what happened. I did not buy anything at the auction.
Wow.
They must have made, and he like basically prefaced and said, I do an auction and every single dollar that's spent in the auction goes right into the theater. He's like, I don't take any of it. Like it's to keep the theater open. Cause then he was saying like they make their most money on those events and not even just being a movie theater, which is like sad.
That is sad.
I know, but like, I don't know. Not people like are not going to the theaters as much, so I like kind of get it.
Yeah.
But anywho, so they must have made, I think, like $10,000. I'm not even kidding.
Katie, you should have texted me. I would have Venmo'd you.
No,
right there. I would have been like, "What's the price? What's the price? I'll Venmo you."
Because some of these people, like some of it was like, okay, we have multiple, so whoever lines up first over there, then you can whatever get.
And you have to run. Now it's physical activity.
There was physical activity. I didn't participate in any of it. I'm sweating. But then some of it was legit auction. Like if you only had one thing, he'll be like, I'm gonna start it at this price, who wants it? And if more than one person, then he's like, okay, you gotta up it. The most expensive thing was, he goes, so I'm filming a movie next month. We're filming it in this movie theater. And he goes, and I'm gonna be in it, and I'm only gonna say one line, but I'm gonna be in it, and I'm sitting in a theater seat. And he's like, so what I'm auctioning is for you to get a chance to be the person sitting next to me. And because you're sitting next to me, you're not gonna get cut out of the movie because it's my one line. And so you're gonna be guaranteed to be in a movie, like forever. And do you wanna know how much the starting amount for that was?
I don't know. I bet you people went apeshit.
It was $1,000 to start.
Ooh.
And he was like, I know, it's crazy. Literally the man 2 seats over from Mel and I was like, I'll take it. And then other people were like, no, me. And then the guy who was in our row ended up getting it for $4,000.
Holy shit.
And then Mel turned to me and she goes, do you think he's gonna get paid too? And I was like, no, Mel, he just paid to do it. What do you mean?
Wow.
Oh my my god, it was wild.
That's one way to overpay being an extra.
Honestly, it was really awesome. It was a long night, but like I had a lot of fun.
That sounds really fun, though. You
Mel,
did that kind of once.
Shout out to you, Mel, because you stuck it out even though you had work at 7 a.m. and we didn't leave
Wow.
till 12:30.
Wow.
And it was supposed to start at 7, and I don't think it started
Mel.
till like 9. Yeah, clap it up for Mel. Whew. Good times.
I love it.
Sisters who've seen it. We are the sisters who've seen it. Sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, sisters. Sisters who've seen it.
Hello.
Hello there.
Oh, Billy Crystal, is that you? Special guest?
Hi.
Just kidding.
Hi, I'm Meg Ryan.
Had a little Tanya in there, I heard it. Welcome back, listeners.
Welcome back.
It's not Meg or Billy.
I mean, was it?
Maybe on the inside, a little bit. All right, well, I'm going to introduce ourselves so you guys know what's happening. So, listeners, we are the Sisters Who've Seen It, the podcast where two sisters who are not movie critics look back on some of our favorites throughout the years through a psychological, ethical, and familial lens. I'm Katie.
I'm Bridget.
And I'll have what she's having.
Kate, what is it? What's the movie?
Oh, the movie this week is When Harry Met Sally.
1989 via a listener pick.
Yes.
Mel.
It's picked by Mel.
Mel, we love you. When Harry Met Mel.
Mel on
when
the...
Mel met Sally. I don't know.
No. Mel on the outside of the recommendation said to me, because of this movie, she convinced her boyfriend, shout out Brian, he's a listener too.
Hey, Brian.
She convinced Brian to grow his hair out like Billy Crystal. It's like, Mel, what? Even. But you two are amazing, so.
She's like, it's 18, or 18, it's
She's
19.
like, I'm getting a perm. You're growing your hair out.
She's like, 1989, inspired by. And she just shows like a cutout face and puts like Mel Ryan's hair, and she puts her face in, and then she puts her boyfriend's face and Billy Crystal's.
I want that picture.
Can
Mel,
we get them that?
Work on that.
Can you guys Photoshop that? Thank you.
I want that.
Wow,
yes.
wow.
So this was, I think, the first time I've ever seen this movie.
What'd you think?
I thought it was good. It definitely grew on me because I wasn't sold in the beginning.
Ooh.
But then I was like, okay, I'm in it.
I dug it. I dug it the whole time, and I bawled my eyes out at the end.
Oh
it has some great lines.
Yes, it does. I wrote down some of those lines. Although, unfortunately, the only line I see right here that I wrote down is humpin' and pumpin', and I don't want to. I didn't want to highlight that one before, but I just said it. Anyway, who's doing the synopsis? Is it you? Is it me?
I think it's you. It's you. It's you. It's Harry, Sally, and you.
All right. Well, we start off with... What do we start off with? Oh. Okay, so, Bridge, I did write a note that this movie was like a reverse of your life because we start in Chicago at the University of Chicago, I believe.
Yes.
Which makes me think that our main characters, Harry and Sally, are just graduated, right?
Yeah, that's the vibe.
Yeah.
University of Chicago.
Early 20s, and they basically get paired up and they meet each other for the very first time, and I don't even know how this setup happened.
I do.
Okay.
He was dating her best friend and she was being nice.
Okay.
I know. I think it's weird too.
It was weird. But they go on a really long road trip all the way to New York. How long is that drive?
It's 13 hours.
Holy shit. Oh, Jesus.
And I don't understand why they didn't fly. I guess they're like poor college kids.
Yeah, because we never saw that car again, so you know somebody sold it. I assume it was Meg Ryan's car. It's just gone forever. Anyway, so when they meet, they do not really jive.
Mm-mm.
Meg is like, yeah, I'm happy, I have dreams. Billy, which I'm just going to say this now, listeners, I will definitely be interchanging the names. Sally equals Meg.
Yes.
Billy equals Harry. Okay?
Same.
Just
Same.
write it down.
He's Billy.
Use it for reference, because I don't know what's going to come out of my mouth, but just you'll know.
They'll know.
So Billy is a little, honestly, I described him as an emo boy. I think he's a little emo boy.
Wow.
I think he's very emo-tastic.
Mm.
You know, he wasn't in high school, so that was weird. We're in our 20s, but fine. And he's one of those guys that like poke. Like he's
a poker. He's a poker.
And so they basically were like, okay, we're over it, bye. And then they both go to New York, and they're both like, we're both living in New York, but we don't really like each other, so we're not gonna keep in touch. Deuces. And you're like, okay. I guess that's when Harry met Sally, but I'm ching.
Wow. Wow.
Then we jump 5 years, right? It's like 5-year increments. It's crazy.
Yeah, we keep jumping.
So now Meg Ryan is dating a man, and then her and Billy Crystal run into each other in an airport. Again, like very random meet cute. And he again is like, Meg, we're gonna hang out now. And she's like, no! And he's like, yeah! And they basically talk, and so Meg's like, yep, I'm dating this guy, and we're in love, we don't care who knows it, everything's great. And he's like, that's cool, I'm like married. Or he's like getting married or something.
He was engaged.
He's still kind of emo, because he's like, whatever. Because she's like, oh, you love her. And he's like, I don't know, do I? And you're like, I don't know, do you? I don't know.
It's so confusing.
I'm not sure, but okay. And then it's kind of like, okay, bye again. We're still not hanging out. Like, we gotta go. Also, Carrie Fisher was my favorite character in this movie.
Really? Okay.
Thank God she was here.
Wow.
I was sweating.
Okay, wow.
I love her.
Wow.
I don't love her choices.
Okay, thank you.
But I just love that she was there for me.
Okay, yeah, she was. Princess Leia.
She did it for me.
Wow.
So she's friends with Meg, and she's kind of a hot mess. She's like hooking up with a married dude, and it's weird.
It's weird.
And
It's
blah,
been a long
blah,
time.
blah.
It's a long time.
And then at some point, Billy Crystal gets divorced, and then he transforms from being emo to being depressed, which is what he always was. But now he's acknowledging his depression.
Yeah.
So that's sad. But then him and Meg Ryan meet up again, and this time they're like, okay, let's hang out, because Meg Ryan also got broken up with by the dude. So now they're both single, and they're like, whatever, let's just hang out. And then they get along, and they kind of appreciate each other, and I like that. Like, this is what I think I like this part more.
Yeah.
This is where I was like, I like the movie now. And it's cute. They have a really cute friendship, and they kind of emphasize we're friends. We don't want to date. It's not dating. It's friends hanging out, and they call each other, and they make each other laugh and whatever. And then you kind of see them over the years, like they try to set each other up with one of their friends, which is a double date situation. And that was amazing, because then the two that they tried to hook up with each other ended up going with themselves. But yeah. Carrie Fisher and Billy's friend end up dating, and then they end up in love. And that was amazing. We're going to talk about that scene.
It's amazing.
I'm going to zoom through, because I don't want to get through every little boo-hoo emo-tastic moment.
Here we are. It's Jurassic Park all over again. Here we are.
All right. Well, we're skipping. So basically, they have sex one night.
Ooh.
And then it gets awkies.
Ooh.
And then they're like, we don't like each other, but on the inside they do.
They do.
And then, in the end, at New Year's, Billy Crystal runs through New York, and this was a good line. Wrote it down. Here it is. And he says, when you realize you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody, you want the rest of your life to start right now. I think I did cry, because then the line I wrote after is, okay, that one got me.
When it was finished, Kate was taking a nap, and I ran up to James, and I aggressively shook him and yelled this in his face.
Oh my God.
And if you don't do that with your spouse, what are you even doing?
Wow.
What are you even doing?
Are you even married?
Do you even love them? Because, and he did not know what to do. He was like, what were you watching? I was like, it's great. I love it. I thought that was amazing, Kate, because this is a weird film to summarize.
It's just this, because there's so many time jumps. And then, we do quick, long jumps. Then, the whole back half of the movie is, not jumps at all. It's, in normal time, it feels like. Or maybe it, goes by season, but it's not, whatever.
Let's slide on in.
All right, first thing we have to talk about, and I'm going to need to fact check it right here, right now. Did I see that this music was done by Harry Connick Jr.? And did you scream out loud? Just me?
I didn't see that.
Okay, I wrote it down. Let's do a fact check.
Oh my god.
It looked like
Oh my
that's
god.
what it
Are you for real?
said.
No way.
I'm pretty sure.
Fact check machine. Oh my god. Harry Connick Jr. and Mark Shaman. Shaman? Holy cow.
Like,
what in the good god lord? Is he a musician?
I guess. Who knew? I thought he was just flying planes with Will Smith in Independence Day.
Wow. If you know, you know, listeners. You're diehard.
Oh my god.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah, so that distracted me.
What I thought you were going to say is Nora Ephron and Rob Reiner, because that's like, you know,
Yeah.
the iconic duo, and apparently their relationship is like inspired by this. They never like made it to the romantic level. They've like made other people and all that, but like the way they interact and some of the quirks of the characters totally came from their duo.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and Nora Ephron, I gotta say,
Didn't she write a lot of rom-coms?
a ton with Meg Ryan, Sleepless in Seattle, You Got Mail.
Yeah.
And I have to say, 1989, okay, this is like, I mean, it's like a long time ago. This shit holds up. The writing?
Yeah, it
Pretty
does.
iconic.
It
Can
does.
men and women actually be friends?
They can.
Oh,
They can.
I don't know if I agree.
Oh, you don't have any guys that are friends? That's weird.
At
You do.
some point,
So,
somebody
you already
wanted to
proved
have
it wrong.
No, but at some point, somebody wanted to have sex with somebody and either didn't, couldn't, and or tried, and or didn't try, and or realized it wasn't going to happen.
But why
at
does that
some
cancel
point-
out the friend label?
Well, eventually, but the moment is like, can they really, you know? I think it's a really good question.
But I feel like it gets answered.
But,
He apologized for that line later on, too, which I was like, thank God you, like, acknowledged that was you being emo.
I don't know. Okay, let's get into it.
Okay.
So why is the font like The Godfather? Pretty intense. No?
I don't know, but it's like all the Yaz music. Da-cha-cha-da-pa, Harry Connick Jr.
Monsters Inc. was like, let's take When Harry Met Sally and make it cartoons.
They were like,
Pixar,
we have Billy Crystal.
We know Pixar that you
Oh,
totally
my God.
stole
Wow.
everything from this. Because there's like,
They-
da-da-da-da,
they
da-da. I was like, it's Monsters
Absolutely
Inc.
did. Absolutely did.
Also, wait, Kate, the first couple,
Oh,
which by the
yeah.
way, they're real couples.
All of these are real couples?
I think so. That's what I just read.
All right.
They reminded me of the Indian
Matchmaker.
matchmaker.
Literally wrote, I was like, is this a Netflix dating show?
So
Because-
let's face it, the Indian
Wow.
matchmaker probably stole it from Harry Met Sally.
Absolutely.
But wow, it was awesome.
That's very interesting. So those were ad-lib lines, clearly.
I mean, they might have been written, but the, like, stories, you know, are somewhat based on... I don't know if they were, like, written, because who knows if they were, like, real actors, but they were real couples.
I like the one where it was like, yeah, we were an arranged marriage, and I wasn't allowed to see her, but I wanted to see her, and so I snuck over, and then she was hot. And then the wife is just sitting there like, mm-hmm.
She's like,
I was
obviously.
what? You guys are like 70. What's happening? Oh, yeah, that was fun. And they do that, like, all throughout the movie. Just, it's literally like Indian matchmaking.
It's amazing. I love it. Need more of it. I'm here for it.
Just a whole movie of that.
And
It's cool.
I feel like we go right to Billy Crystal making out with some hottie. And I thought, here he is, batting above his average again. These freaking 80s men. But then I like Billy Crystal because I'm like, all right, he's kind of cool. I like him.
Did you like him when he was young, though? Because I wanted to throw him out of the car.
He was, first of all, when you described him as emo, I was like, I described him as like, kind of like a hoe bag. Like, he was just like bouncing around, doing everyone and anyone, and I just...
Yeah,
like,
but then he was like, I don't know.
he made out with that girl. I was like, I'll call you on the road. He's like, sure, honey. And then he like tries to hit on Meg Ryan right away. I was like, take a chill pill, sir. And he's, mind you, the reason that she's driving him is because I thought he was like with her friends. I'm like, wait, are you watching your best friend's lover make out with someone? But what? Why are you being so... I would have drove away.
Yeah, I would have been like, you're gonna get out now. Bye.
I'd be like, there's this thing called Airplane, which is a way better way to get from Chicago to New
get
York.
on the airplane,
Bye.
bitch. Yeah, I think I don't know. Maybe he was more like, fuck boy.
Yeah, that's better. He was a
But
fuck boy.
honestly, they're all depressed on the inside, so
You know,
I don't know.
And I thought that captured like a 22, 23-year-old
Yeah.
somewhat well. Maybe not this generation,
Yeah.
but back then, you know, Yeah. And, like, that's a long road trip to be with someone you don't know. And he just whips out grapes like he's a great god.
Ew, and he was, like, spitting. I was
Why? That was so
why
weird.
Why didn't you get the seedless ones, sir?
Nobody likes grapes with seeds.
Why didn't you plan better? Okay.
You know that TikTok red flag thing? Billy Crystal would be like, eats grapes with seeds. Red flag.
Yes. Yeah, and so it's a weird road trip, but they get through it, and yes, he makes the comment that men and women can't ever be friends, and Meg Ryan says that's much bullshit, and he's like, it's true because I'm a boy and I know everything. And I was like, yeah, you better change. He does, though, so that's when I started to like him.
I have opinions on that still. I still think that's hard. Well, however, wait, one other thing that they talk about is he talks about how she's like, I'm happy, and he's like, you're too busy. You're too busy being happy. He's like, I spend hours and days on death. And you're just too busy. Just being
That's
happy.
why he's emo.
But I thought that was
He's like, I'm gonna go write poetry in the graveyard like Jack Skellington. But you gotta relax, sir.
I just thought it was so
he would have shopped at Hot Topic, okay? That's all I'm saying.
You were just like being Rico Suave, and now you're like getting mad that she's happy. Oh, it's so funny. And it's cute because they make they start their quippy stuff now. Like, Casablanca should have had this ending. No, it should have had this ending. And then the 20 years later, they still talk about that, which I think is really cute. And also he kind of jokes that she's never had great sex.
Which, who's to say?
And then she does her quirks, her elaborate order, but he kind of likes her for that, and I think that's pretty cute.
Yeah.
See, you hate rom-coms with this stuff.
I do. My black heart is just not feeling it. But then I warmed up to it when we were adults and not young 20-year-olds.
Okay.
All right, so let's skip ahead. We skip to 5 years, and now instead of Billy Crystal making out with someone, we see Meg Ryan making out with someone. And this guy's name was... didn't write it down.
Joe?
Joe, sure. That
I think
sounds
it was
right.
Joe.
All right.
And I thought when Billy Crystal saw them, he was like, wow, the one lady I met who drove me.
That's what I thought.
But he was like, no, my buddy Joe.
Yeah.
Hey, and by the way, Kate, if I see you at an airport and you're just going neck deep with some dude making out with him.
Wow.
Even as your sister, I'm not stopping that. I'll send you a text.
You're not going to walk up and stand 3 inches away from us staring?
No.
What?
No.
Crazy.
I'm gonna send you a text and be like, Sissy, I love you so much. You were totally going to town on that person in
You're
public.
Sucking face.
I happened to walk past an airport. Love you, bye bye. Yeah, but they didn't have phones and stuff, so okay. It is so funny though that then he's on the airplane with her, because of course.
Oh my god, and then the guy's like, you want to switch seats? And he's like, yeah! And she's like, no! And I was like, this ain't allowed now. You think American Airlines let you switch seats, girl? No way. No way, Jose.
She'd be like, sir, go back to 30A, please. This is 29A.
Now let's get up with the seatbelt sign on.
I just feel like he goes right to sex again. I'm like, bro.
Well, again, I think that's
he's
why
aggressive.
I was like, all right.
And then he was like, let's have dinner. And she's like, you just told me you're engaged, which I thought, ew, bro. I don't get it.
But this is where she's like, oh, you're in love. And he's like, I don't know, am I? Or am I just getting married because it's part of the status quo in the system? And I was like, this is getting into Fight Club pretentious territory for me, and I'm getting annoyed, and I needed to stop, because if Tyler Durden shows up in this movie and there's some bullshit, I'm tapping out.
Billy Crystal having Brad Pitt as his alter ego,
Literally.
but in love, romantic relationships, is chef kiss of what Fight Club should have been.
I like that better. Yeah,
it should have been
treats Marla nicely. and they actually date and love each other.
Yeah, like he treats all women amazing with his alter ego. He's like an epic lover and perfect. Here's the thing. I feel like Billy Crystal has this rhythm in the way he talks.
Yeah.
That he kind of gets away with a lot. Like, I didn't mind him. I was like, he's kind of annoying, but there's something about him. Maybe it's his facial expressions. So I don't know. I'm like, he's not that bad. He's harmless. He is harmless. Maybe it's because he's, no, let's be honest. Maybe it's because he's not like the hottest guy alive either.
Yeah,
he has this like,
you're not as dangerous to me.
Come on. Yeah, you're
right
like,
now.
it's fine.
That's true. true.
And then you're right. Then they go to this quick, like, lunch scene, and Carrie Fisher's like, bitch, I ain't Princess Leia. I am sleeping with a married
She's
man
like,
in New York.
I got short hair. I'm sleeping with someone. And then Meg is like, we know. Also, I got broken up with. Because this is a time jump, I think.
We time jump.
This is another 5 years.
5 years.
Oh, my God.
I was like, whoa. And I was doing the math. I was like, 5, 10, 15. So she's like 30.
32.
I was like, this is a lot of math.
Yeah.
But Carrie Fisher was so blunt that, I'm sorry, everyone needs a friend like Carrie Fisher. When
I
you're
want
like,
one.
You're like, I want to date someone, and then they take out a physical Rolodex.
In all honesty,
they
this
say,
is Mel.
This is Mel.
Except we don't, need to use like card catalogs for phone numbers. Like we have them ready, but like this is Mel. Like,
well, Mel,
she's always on the lookout to
Mel,
hook you up. So
Mel, you're a real one as Carrie Fisher, because I hope you're not sleeping with married men.
But I did love how she carried that around. I was like, Carrie,
oh my God,
girl.
And I love that she was like, what about this guy? And then Sally's like, you set me up with him 6 years ago. I was like, damn. She's like, and he's married. She's like, damn. And then she folded it. I was like, what an organized bitch,
She's got a Dewey Decimal System going on. It's impressive. Well, so
wait. I have one line I want to add from that convo.
Okay.
They were like, well, what about your clock's ticking? You broke up with this amazing guy. You're 31. And she goes, now this is 1989. Okay. And she goes, I'm 31. My clock doesn't start until I'm 36. I want to just let you know the medical system calls a woman who's pregnant at 35 as a geriatric pregnancy. And when Harry Met Sally was fighting the power from 1989.
Yeah.
Okay?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Fight the patriarchy.
Fight the power. All right, sorry, keep going.
So during this time jump, we find out, okay, Meg got broken up with the dude, but she's not that sad. She's just like, we both were on the same page, and then we weren't, and then whatever. Then we cut to Billy Crystal. Billy Crystal is at a New York Giants game! Woo woo! And Billy Crystal is so sad, and he's sitting with his friend who has a mustache. What was his friend's name? Because I did not.
Let me look him up.
Didn't write it down either. I'm the worst.
That guy was classic, too.
So they're basically at this game, and Billy's like, anyway, I know we're here, and we paid lots of money to be at this game, but listen to my sadness, because now I'm sad. And you're like, I mean, you were always sad, but it's all right. And he's like, we're getting divorced. She, like, has been cheating on me. And she, like, that was sad. Genuinely.
Yeah.
But always talking about his divorce trauma, the whole fucking stadium is doing, like, a wave. And
oh my God.
Him and his friend keep purchasing.
So his friend's name is Jess, which I don't know why. I never, clicked it was Jess.
Yeah, I think that's right, Jess. Okay.
That was
funny,
so funny and perfect because it was, like, such a dude moment. I'm like, this isn't what dudes do.
You guys can't talk about your feelings normal. You have to, like, be weird and participate in man stuff. But that's how we find out, okay, he's single, he's sad, she's single, she's not sad, presumably. And then we're at a bookstore, and they're in. Did you see the section that they were in at the bookstore?
Self-help was for him.
It was, like, self-help, and, like,
oh my God.
how do I find a man? And I was like, damn it, this is me, oh no. Billy Crystal's creeping around a bookshelf.
Oh my God.
Which is a lot. And then Carrie's like, someone's, like, looking at you. It's a man. Which again would be Mel, to be like, oh my God, there's a man breathing near us. Let's go check it out for you. Let's do it. They're like, oh my God, no.
I will say though, I mean, I do find it kind of fascinating that she just broke up with this guy after 6 years of being together, and she was like, fine. I'm like, I would be a mess, you know?
But then she's not fine.
Eventually, but like, I just thought like, wow. So, I don't know, I feel like she was like on the lookout, but also like, come on.
Yeah.
You know? Like, come on. Is she really on the lookout? But you know what? You gotta have a friend like Mel to be like, get out there, bye, I'm down the escalator.
Okay, this was the funniest part, because literally this is where I was like, I love you, Carrie, was Meg Ryan is like, yeah, here's my friend Carrie, and then the camera cuts away, and she's literally on an escalator leaving, just like looking at them, and like doesn't say anything, and I was like, wow, the assist, it's amazing. That's
Princess Leia is amazing. Leia, sorry.
I mean, she kind of was Princess Leia
she was
in
amazing. amazing.
that moment. Layers. Do it.
You know what though? Billy Crystal is so funny because I feel like he plays like the dude card so well where he's like, hey, do I know, like every 5 years he's like, do I know you? Hey, I remember you. Hey, I remember you. And she's like, she knows everything about him. She's like, oh, everything he's told her. She's like, yeah, this one time we did a road trip and then he got married and this and that. And I'm like, dude, Billy Crystal is literally like, hey, Neanderthal. He's like, are you somebody I knew?
There is a part, so then he's like, want to go, or she might be the one that asked him, let's go to dinner. Yeah. And they're both kind of like, it's just as friends, like they're kind of on the same page. And at this dinner, she does a monologue that I like loved, and it was just her talking about how like she dated the guy Joe, and they, again, were like on the same page, had the same priorities, and then it changed as they got older, and she was like, I'm not too sad because it's like, you know, it's not like there was like cheating or anything like that. And then he's like, I was cheated on. You're like, wow. Oh no. And they do something in the next scene that I used to do all the time, and I got a little nostalgic about it, was back when, you know, everybody had cable. You would call a friend and go to the same channel and talk on the phone as you like long distance watch something. I was like, oh my God, I love that. It's
I
so
loved
fun.
it. Well, and it was such a wholesome relationship because they were like, yeah, we kind of like both are in like single-dom, but we didn't think we would be. And he's really sad about it. And like, he kind of knows she's sad about it, but is like kind of like tough about it. And it's such a wholesome friendship. There's no expectation. It's very refreshing. So they get to just be like silly and fun and like not hold back, you know? Nobody's showing their like perfect side because they're not like trying to date. It's lovely.
Yeah. Which is cute because then that's why they end up liking each other.
Yes, because they got to be
really
real.
They really know each other.
I was like, you know, I really feel like timing is everything in relationships. Because there's something about this whole movie where they're like, they've met each other so much, but they're never at the like right time. Yeah. Which I think could be a lot of people where you meet someone and you're thinking, oh my God, they'd be perfect for me. But then you're like, but like all these outside factors get in the way.
Or even just people change when they get older. Like, that's how I felt with Billy. I was like, he changed. Thank God. Because if he was the same annoying person, I'd be like, Meg, no. But they still talk about sex a lot. And this is where we are at a diner. And he's like, yeah, every woman orgasms with me. And she gives him the real talk and is like, but how do you know? And he's like, I just know. Which means he doesn't know. Because he couldn't really give a specific answer. Yeah. And she does a fake orgasm to prove that anybody could, I guess, make it sound like they're having an orgasm.
Listen, women listening. Are you listening? I know you're probably about 20% of our listeners.
Yeah.
No more fake orgasms.
No. Be like, it's not working for me.
That's nostalgia we don't need. That should not be a thing. They should very much know they did not do the thing, and you should tell them, and then we don't have to have scenes like this. Because if I was in a deli eating a pastrami, and some lady started, like, orgasming at the table, I'd be like, I'm okay. I don't want what she's having. I'm confused.
I want to write a letter to the manager.
But I wouldn't even care. I would just be like, this is a lot. Go home, you know?
Honestly, I felt like it was a little out of character for her.
It really was.
I was like, you're doing that? You sure? I don't know. You kind of seem like you do care what other people think to some degree. So, like, it just felt kind of forced.
When you really listen to the whole scene, I'm like, man, she gets, like, really loud. Like, I don't even think I could be that good of an actor. That's a lot, you know?
I mean, she's an actress, though, but...
I know, wow. Yeah. Then we go to New Year's.
And I wrote a note saying, look at all these happy people. They don't have any idea about Y2K yet. Just wait, people. And then it was like they went as friends and they were having a lot of fun, and then the ball drops, and in my mind, I'm the jerk because I wrote in capital letters, kiss, 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 no,
kiss. And they didn't, and they would have hated me at the party. Maybe I'm Mel too. Mel, teamsies.
Oh, do you have a card catalog of phone numbers?
Maybe.
To whip out? Okay.
I should go look. But I just love that we go back to, like, Carrie Fisher still talking about sleeping with the married man, and I kept thinking, her being a side piece piece is, like, off character to me. Like, she's too powerful to be a side piece.
She had main character energy.
But this is where she was like, okay, enough's enough. I got a guy I want to set you up with. And she's like, oh, okay, I got a guy, or what, you know, he's like, I got a guy, blah, blah, blah. And they do the double date that, how bad would this be if, like, you go on a double date and then, I don't know, they end up going out with each other? How embarrassing!
Wait, I love that, though, because I feel like everyone was on the same page. Because it wasn't like Billy was like, oh, man, I wish I got with Carrie. Like, he was like, I'm not into it. And then Meg was like, I am not into mustache guy.
Yeah.
And the funniest part of the entire movie was when they have, like, it's after the date, and it's like the friend duos are talking, and Meg's like, listen, Billy's so sad. All right, you know, we gotta let him down easy. I don't know, don't tell him yet you're gonna be with the friend. And then Billy and his friend have the same combo over there, and then they're like, all right, we're all on the same page. And then the one friend goes, all right, I'm gonna go home now, and he gets a taxi, and then Carrie goes, me too, and she literally swan dives into the fucking taxi, and they, like, sprinted and ran away, and I died.
Kate, if you
amazing
find someone and you just so happen to have to screw over your besties that, like, and you want to swine dive into that cab, everyone would get it, because that is such a power move by Carrie Fisher. I was like, that's the Carrie Fisher I know and love.
It was amazing.
It was
absolutely
so amazing, and I felt like it was so funny. At the dinner, she quoted his writing, and he was like, I wrote that. She's like, can you guys believe that? Like, can you believe I quoted his writing?
And they're all like,
And then you would just see them just get so depressed. They're like, it's amazing. And she's like, that's, like, incredible. And I thought to myself, that is incredible.
Small city.
Oh my god! But then Billy Crystal was emo, because
he was.
We've only talked about Helen. We haven't seen Helen.
And
we're buying something in a silly store. Which, by the way, he was very Mike Wazowski and his karaoke machine.
The karaoke bridge. I know. Was it his Monsters Inc. audition?
That was, and I also looked at his face a lot, and I was like, you look like that, like, monster. That's you. Like, he's got this eye and these lips that I'm like, I kind of see what Pixar was doing there.
Wow.
But he runs into Helen, and Helen is with the person that they're cheated on. So awky.
Here's my question. Helen girl?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
What is she doing?
It's been like 6 years, and I don't think you need to do, like, the showing off of your man.
I thought it was
like,
rude.
It feels kind of rude.
I thought it was rude.
Read the room. Yeah.
Like, why couldn't she just tell the dude, like, hey, wait over there. Hey, Harry, it's been a bit, just rude.
If I were her, I probably would have ran out. I would have been like, we need to leave, and, like, put on masks. Hurry, go. Because, like, that didn't go well. It was not good.
It was
and
not
then
good.
They go to now the guy Joe and Carrie Fisher are, like, moving in together. I don't know how long after their date was, but fine. And Billy Crystal, I wrote, he pulls a fucking Miranda from Sex and the City. Where from the Sex and the City movie, the first one. Let me clarify. Because he basically is like, you two are crazy to date each other and want to get married. And I was like, no, Harry, don't ruin their marriage. Oh my god, Big's gonna leave her in front of the library with a bird on her head. Oh no. Oh, it's so emo. But, like, but then Meg Ryan runs out after him, and she's like...
That's absolutely perfect example.
That's literally
perfect.
what it was. I was
my
like,
God.
This is not good. But then Meg Ryan, like, runs out after him, and she's like, hey, that wasn't cool. And he was like, you're right, I'm sorry. And
She
I
goes,
was like, oh, okay, this was not like Miranda.
She goes, Harry, you have to find a way to not express every feeling you're having at every moment. He was like, you never get upset about anything. And I'm like, she has a really good point. You can keep some things inside. You don't need to express them at
Write
every
it in your journal later.
Yeah,
don't scream it in someone's face.
Scream into a pillow at home like we all do. I thought that was so funny and real, everybody was just like, and then she goes, he ran into Helen, and they were like, oh. Which I was like, that's fair.
Yeah, I did like that nobody got, like, really mad at each other.
Yeah,
if
we go back to Sex and the City, Carrie was a little much. She was like, Miranda, you broke my heart. I was like, no, your dickhead, like, future husband ditched you.
Miranda, you ruined my marriage! Good!
So...
Yeah.
Wow.
Then, what do we do? We play Pictionary, there's an Exorcist baby.
Oh my God.
Harry's dating Betty Spaghetti from... A League of Their Own.
Okay, did you know that Betty Spaghetti was married to Rob Reiner?
What?
Yeah.
Was? Past tense.
I think they divorced. Let me double check with
Drama.
Betty Spaghetti.
Oh my god. Wow. Didn't know, but now I know.
Oh no, he just has children with her.
Oh.
That's confusing.
Wow.
I don't even know. Tracy
Okay.
Ryan. Oh wait, no, that's her dad. Oh, that's awkward, Bridget.
Jesus Christ, Bridget.
Sorry.
Retract.
Retract. I'm sorry.
God.
He is the dad. I knew there was a connection there. Anywho, Betty Spaghetti cracked me up. I said the same thing. I go, holy crap, it's a League of Their Own. Why is that the only thing I think of?
Yeah.
But this was so cute because Billy was kind of asking about Meg, and Meg was kind of asking about Billy. And I was like, this is so cute. But then it leads up to the moment, Kate, where they finally have sex.
Yes, this is where... Okay, this I also had questions about. This was another moment where I was like, rude. This was a rude setup. Her ex, Joe, the guy that she dated for 6 years, calls her out of the blue.
Yep, out of the blue.
Which makes sense, because it's been, like, over a year since they... whatever. And she thinks, like, oh, he's just connecting with me, whatever. And then this is where he tells her he's getting married. Yeah. And...
to a paralegal named Kimberly.
Why did you update your ex about your Facebook status? I don't get it.
This is like, where there's part of me that thinks it was polite, and then another part of me that thinks it's awkward and rude and unnecessary.
I thought it was just rude.
I mean, I think he was thinking, like, you should hear it from me first because I respect you, but I just feel like, no. You know?
I hated it.
She unraveled. Yikes.
She was very sad.
She had a moment.
Well, that's where all her sadness comes out, because she then basically is like, I just thought he didn't want to marry anyone, and that's why we broke up, because I ended up wanting to be married at some point, but he just didn't want to marry me, and that's different. And I'm like, that is different, and that's sad, and I get it. Oh.
She also says a great line where she's like, I'm gonna be 40 someday. And I think we should all use that line. Thank you very much.
Yeah, they bone.
They do. And I was like, I kind of get it. But then you see Harry's face after, and it's not looking good. I feel so awkward. She is so excited and into it, and he is not. And I would murder him if this was my bestie.
So, because he says a line, like, earlier in the movie, I don't remember when, where he basically was like, I hate cuddling after I sleep with a lady. It's just the worst. And, like, gosh, I hate it so much. So I was like, is that why this is? Or is it because you don't like it? Or what? Like, what's happening?
I felt like he was in pure shock. He was like, oh no, how do I compartmentalize this best friend that I never thought was going to cross this line, and now it did, and now what do I do? Because all I know is, like, how to, like, hit it and quit it. I don't know how to, like, do anything else. So I just felt like he was in paralysis of, like, what to do. He was like, yeah. But, like, my heart sunk for her because she was so excited. I was like, no, Harry, I hate you.
He literally, like, ran away. I was like, oh boy.
The worst. And then the whole, like, they're like, okay, it was a mistake. And they both just, like, jump on it.
Hate it.
I'm like, you guys are the worst. You love each other.
A lot of games we're playing as 30-something-year-olds.
Exhausting. Exactly. Aren't you guys tired?
That's when the game should be done. Okay? So Carrie Fisher gets married, and I wrote, boy, do I wish Darth Vader was walking her down the aisle, but I'll get over it. She gets married, and they have, like, another kind of big fight at the wedding where they're like, you ruined it. No, you did this, and whatever. And then the couple is like, thanks to those two for introducing us. And I was like, oh, it's so awkward.
This is how we are so different. You make a Star Wars joke. I wrote, Andy Cohen wishes he could conjure this type of drama. Because it was traumatic. She gave him a slap and said, F you.
He would have an after chat, and, like, he'd be like, remember when you, like, slapped him?
He's like, let's play the tape. Let's play the tape.
He'd be like, I have a tape of you guys, like, cuddling after sex. It's so awkward. Let's all watch. You're like, Yeah, so they're not friends. But Harry does try to call her and, like, I guess try to rekindle or apologize or whatever. Like, he's trying to contact her, and she's, like, icing him. She's like, abso-fucking-lutely not. No.
I gotta tell you, this was the point in the movie where I was like, it's been like 20 years.
It's been a long time.
And I don't know that much about her job. I don't know anything about her family.
Wasn't she a
journalist, but like we heard it once.
Okay. He was a lawyer, I
don't
thought.
know anything about her aspirations. I know nothing about her family. I know nothing about her financials. There's no like well-rounded picture to any. Is anyone's parents sick? Does anyone have sisters, brothers? Like, no idea. And I was laughing. I was like, this movie, it just only shows their love story. And it's like, it's kind of sweet to people who have had this experience. That is like how they tell it, right? They tell it with like just the love story.
Yeah.
Only those moments, not the other pieces. But now it feels so, like it felt cheesy a little bit when I was like, but there's like nothing else going on in life. Like now we deal with like pandemics and you came to visit me and we couldn't even go outside because of the frickin' air smog. Like, I was like, don't you guys have apocalypses back in the 80s? Oh, that's right. You had everything you wanted. Anyways.
This was pre-Y2K, Bridge.
You're right. He's begging hard on the voicemail, and it's not working.
Like, no. And then, now, it's New Year's Eve. And they had said a year ago at the last New Year's Eve, which we saw, like, oh, if we're both still single, we'll go together as dates. So she goes to the party, but she's like, I'm having a horrible time. Carrie Fisher's like, my life's the best, because I'm Carrie Fisher. And then Meg's like, I'm gonna fucking go. And she's like, nah, it's dead. And then, I don't know, I guess she stayed long enough because Billy Crystal was by himself, just like walking around the city.
No, he ran.
Well, yes. But he was like already out. Like, it's not like he was sitting in bed and then he's like, I gotta go. Like, he was just like strolling around. There were no people in the city. What? And then, yes, he runs to the party and he catches her. And this was sweet.
I came here tonight because when you realize you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody, you want the rest of your life to start as soon as possible. And she goes, I hate you, Harry, because you say wonderful things like that.
And then they make out.
It was great.
It was
You
good.
know, I loved it. And then they ended with an adorable interview. I loved it.
They do. They got married 3 months later, which I guess they knew each other for like 20 years. So like, whatever. Fuck it.
I kind of get it.
If it was a Tinder date, I'd feel different. But
Ockies.
Here we are.
Well,
woo!
Kate, you got through a rom-com.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
No, it was fine. I mean, it was good. Sorry.
Mel, I love you for this. I also want to shout out to Stacy, who this is her favorite movie.
Stacy, wow.
And I was like live texting her all of the questions for the movie, and she was like, calm down. Like, relax. I was like, sorry. I got really into it. But she made a good point on just the writer being timeless. And I thought, you know what? Most of the writing is pretty timeless. For 89, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of incredible. Like, I didn't hear a line that I was like, not with technology. Not really.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah, because it was more about, like, people interactions and the way that, like, women think about things and men and dating and...
Tale as old as time.
Blah, blah. Tale as old as time.
Wow,
it's
Kate,
true.
we did it. We did it, Mel. Thank you. We love you, Mel. Carrie Fisher.
Wow. That's you, Mel.
We're still waiting for the cutout of your faces with the hair. Thank you.
It will come.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, amazing. All right. Well, Bridge, I have our next pick.
I
cannot
wait.
Have our next pick. What I really mean is you're going to help me pick.
Oh.
Because I have some choices. So I'm not going to tell you what movie, but I'll give you genres, and you can pick what genre you want to do. Okay? Here's your choices.
All right.
One is, like, coming of age.
Ooh.
Kind of coming of age drama.
Ooh, it's summertime. I don't know, maybe.
Another is, I guess, like, fantasy action.
Okay.
And then another is horror.
I'm sorry to be this predictable, but coming of age.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Oh, well, actually, I have different coming of age ones. Okay, let's narrow it down a little more.
Oh, my God. Is this a pop quiz?
We're gonna do years. Hold on. No, because there were 3 really good ones that I was like, oh my God, we have to do all of these at some point. But let me,
Wait, I have, like, ideas on what it could be.
Okay, there's 3 choices.
I'll hold back.
But I'm gonna give you the years. Okay, here we go.
All the above. What?
All right, the first choice is from 1986.
Oh.
second choice. Oh, actually, the other two. Oh my god, they came out the same year. The other two, but they're different, are 1995.
95.
Okay, now we gotta narrow it down more.
Oh my god.
Okay, let's see. How can I do this? Oh, the ratings are different. That's interesting.
Pick a number, any number, pick a card. Left or right.
One is rated PG.
Wait, this is the
other
moment.
is rated PG-13.
This is the moment when you're at a friend's house and they take two tapes behind their back and they say pick like an arm, but then they just make you watch what they wanted, no matter what arm you pick.
Well,
so Kate, are you gonna do that or
no? I will do the actual whatever you pick. One is
right.
PG, one is PG-13.
Is it like PG-13 like it should be R? Or is PG like not
no.
really PG?
No, I think PG-13 is appropriate. And I think PG is also appropriate.
Okay, I'm here for PG-13.
PG-13?
Yeah, I'm ready for it. Let's get racy.
Wow. Oh, this is a good one. Very summer vibes. I'm very excited for this one. Bridge, we're going to 1995. We have 4 12-year-old girls grew up together during an eventful small-town summer in 1970. What is it, Bridge?
It's Now and Then. I was trying to reverse engineer it because I thought that's what you were picking.
It is Rosie O'Donnell, Demi
God,
Moore,
Christina
Rita
Ricci.
Wilson, Christina Ricci, Thora Birch,
Devin
other ones.
Sawa.
Devin Sawa. Wow, we'll have to tweet him on Twitter. You see his butt in the movie.
This
Ooh.
is what I remember an epic movie.
It's really good.
Red
This
Rover,
one holds up, I think.
Send somebody over.
Fucking hate Red Rover. Gives me trauma.
God.
Yeah, and they do like witch shit in a graveyard. Like, hello, right up my alley.
I cannot wait to pick who you are. I already know.
Oh, it's Roberta, but it's fine.
No, you're the one that does the witchy stuff. What's her name?
You're right. What's her name?
What is her name? Samantha.
I'm her. I think I'm a combo.
Where you're like
it's like a Sex and the City thing.
The
where
blood.
you're like,
Yeah.
I'm a combo.
Wow.
Oh, this is a
Way
good
to
one.
go, Kate. I love it. You're the best. Great pick.
Yeah. Yay.
Wow.
Well,
we did it.
Bridge.
Yeah.
Just want to say, if
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to jump in.
Okay. Oh, okay.
If you realize that you want a podcast with one person for the rest of your life, you want that to start now. Katie, I love you and I want a podcast for my life with you.
Oh, I love you too, Bridge. I was going to say some bullshit about a card catalog and you getting amnesia and then re-meeting Mose and then getting married again. It was going to be complicated, but I like yours better. Wow, I love you. And listeners, if you also love not waiting for the rest of your life to start because you want to just start right now, something.
Wow.
And if you think that Carrie Fisher is a queen, and we miss her very much, and
we
she's
love her.
The best. And if you think that my friend Mel and her boyfriend should Photoshop their hair with Meg Ryan and Billy Crystal's hair, and then send us a photo,
Obviously.
and we'll post it.
Do it.
You should write us a review.
Hey!
We love reviews. We love written reviews. You can review us on Apple Podcasts, along with some other podcasting apps. We also have a website, sisterswhoseenit.com. On our website, you can request a movie. So there is a form you can fill out, and that is what Mel did. Mel.
We love you, Mel.
Follow the instructions. She's done that a lot. There's been a lot of requests from Mel. Don't worry, we got a Mel.
We got you, Mel.
They're all on there. Don't worry. But that could be you, listeners. So get on there and give us your requests. And Bridge, what else can they do on our website?
They can buy us coffee.
Woo!
As well as buy merchandise.
Woo!
I owe a shirt to Katie that
You
says
do.
Mrs. D, Mrs.
Mrs.
I,
I.
Mrs. FFI, Mrs. C, Mrs. U, Mrs. LT. Why
Why
are
all these women married?
I'm gonna get on it. I promise. Wow. So buy our merchandise, laugh with us, and get your friends some cool stuff. It's on there.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Go get it. Stop what you're doing. Go get it.
Yes, so check all that out, listeners. And we hope to hear from you. All right. Well, we'll see y'all next week for Now and Then.
Wow.
Drama music. Oh, you know who else is in this movie?
Who?
A quick cameo. I'm pretty sure Brendan Fraser. He's like the army guy that they randomly meet. Do you remember?
That's right. right.
God.
So random.
Oh, it's all so random. Bonnie Hunt? I can't wait.
Wow, Bonnie
I'm ready.
Hunt. Oh my God. The throwback. The epic throwback. Guys, see you now. See you later. See you then.
See you then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Love you.
I'll have what she's having. I love you, Harry. I love you, Sally. Bye-bye. I love you.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Sisters Who've Seen It. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Check out our website at sisterswho'veseenit.com, where you can email us, request movies to be reviewed, and keep up to date with all things sisters. Also, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. See you next week.